In today's lesson, we're going to compare decimals. And I said in the Schoology page that there's 3 different strategies that we can use to compare decimals. And the first strategy that we're going to talk about is using a model. All right, so in this video, we're going to compare decimals using a model. So let's take a look at this problem. Okay, it says the city park covers 64 square miles. 6,400 square miles. About 1,800ths of the park is covered by water, and about 2/10ths of the park is covered by paved walkways. Is more of the park covered by water or paved walkways? Right, so the question that's asking is more of the park covered by water or paved pathways? Right, so let's look back in the information that it gives us. Okay, the city park covers 6,400ths of a square mile. That's how much the park covers altogether. It's not necessarily telling us about the water or the pathways. About 1/1800ths of the park is covered by water. So we know that 1/1800ths of the park is covered by water, and 2/10ths of the park is covered by the paved walkway. So those are the 2 things that we're going to compare, because I want to know which one is more. Is 1/1800ths more, or is 2/10ths more, to see if there's more water or pavement in the park. So the first way that we're going to do it is we're going to use a model. So I have a model of hundredths, which is 1 unit square cut into 100 pieces, and tenths, 1 unit square cut into 10 pieces. So I'm going to shade 1/1800ths. Okay, so I can think of that as 18 little squares, or I can think of it as 1/10 and 800ths. 1/10 is one whole row, one whole column, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. So that is my 1/1800ths shaded in. Okay, let's shade in 2/10ths. Now a tenth is our 1 cut into 10 pieces, so this is 1/10, and this is 2/10, 2 full columns colored in. So if I'm going to look, and now I'm going to look and compare the 2 that I shaded. This has 2 full columns. This one has 1 column and almost a whole column, but it's not filled in on the way. So 2/10ths is the greater number. And I would read this as 1/1800ths is less than 2/10ths. This sign means less than. We think we usually have the open part, like the alligator wants to eat the larger number. You can remember which way to draw your greater than or less than sign. So here we're writing the less than sign. Let's try another example. Let's compare 3/10ths and 300ths. So I'm going to compare 3/10ths and 300ths. Right, so on my first model, I'm going to color in 3/10ths. I have a 3 in the tenths place. A tenth is a whole column. It's broken into 10 pieces. So that's 1/10, 2/10ths, 3/10ths. And I'm using 2 grids that have hundredths, so I know I'm coloring in my tenths, but if you wanted to add another 0 here, that means I have 30 hundredths, 10, 20, 30, and I have colored in my 3/10ths or my 30 hundredths. For here I have 3 hundredths, so I'm going to color in 3 hundredths, 1, 2, 3. So here you can clearly see that 3/10ths is greater than 300ths. 3/10ths is much greater than 300ths. So I read it, 3/10ths is greater than 300ths. Let's try one more example. Let's compare 6/10ths to 1700ths. 6/10ths to 1700ths. 6/10ths, a tenth again is our whole column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to color all of these 6 in. Do it a little faster. 6 of my tenths right here. Over here I have 1700ths. 17 hundredths. I can also say, okay, that's 1/10 and 7 hundredths. So this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oops, too many. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I got carried away with myself there. 17 hundredths. Okay. So I'm going to look and see. Okay. This one is shaded in way more than this one. So 6/10 is greater than 17 hundredths. 6/10 is greater than 17 hundredths. And let's just do, I think you get the hang of it. That is the modeling strategy, drawing out a model of each fraction and then looking, comparing. We're going to talk about using a number line.